We stand at a strange moment in history. Our kitchens are full of food, yet our bodies are starving. We buy pills for our hearts, powders for our joints, and bottles for our brains, while a forgotten plant sits quietly in our gardens, doing the work for free. Right now, under your feet, growing through cold soil and early frost, is one of the most powerful medicinal foods humanity has ever relied on, and we barely even look at it. But turnip was once called the root of survival. Long before supermarkets, long before potatoes ruled the plate, this humble white and purple bulb kept entire civilizations alive. Medieval physicians prescribed it for coughs, village healers used it for swollen joints, farmers fed it to the sick because it brought strength back when nothing else would grow. It was not just food, it was a pharmacy you could pull out of the ground. And then something happened. The potato arrived, fast, heavy, high in calories. It filled bellies quickly and cheaply, and slowly, quietly, it pushed the turnip into the shadows. What was once medicine became livestock feed. What was once nourishment became an afterthought. We traded deep healing for empty starch, and we never even realized we had made the exchange. Today, modern science is uncovering what the old herbalists already knew. This plant we dismissed is loaded with compounds that reduce inflammation, clear mucus from the lungs, support blood circulation, and even supply omega-3 fatty acids, the same fats people now buy in expensive fish oil capsules. And here is the cruel joke. The part of the plant that contains the most of these precious compounds is the part most people throw away. We are not just ignoring a vegetable, we're throwing away medicine. Today, we open the garden lore vault and restore the reputation of the turnip, not as a poor man's root, not as animal feed, but as one of the most underestimated healing plants in the modern garden. Once you see what it truly is, you will never compost it again.
When most people harvest turnips, they commit a quiet act of destruction. They twist off the leafy tops, drop them in the compost, and walk away with the white bulb in their hand, believing the root is the prize. But the truth is upside down. The leaves are the treasure. The greens are where the medicine lives. Turnip greens are one of the richest plant sources of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, the parent omega-3 fat that your body uses to build EPA and DHA, the same compounds found in fish oil. These fats support brain function, reduce inflammation, protect the heart, and calm the immune system. In a world drowning in processed food, omega-3 deficiency is one of the hidden drivers of arthritis, fatigue, and chronic pain. And yet this powerful nutrient is growing on the top of a plant we casually throw into the trash. A single bunch of turnip greens contains more omega-3 per calorie than most cultivated vegetables. Add to that high levels of calcium, magnesium, folate, and lutein, the eye-protecting pigment sold in supplement form, and you begin to understand what you are really holding. This is not garnish, this is biological currency. The old gardeners knew this. They never separated the greens from the root. They treated the plant as a two-part medicine, leaves for strength, root for healing. The greens were cooked like spinach, added to soups, or eaten lightly sautéed with garlic and fat so the omega-3s could be absorbed properly. Every bite was a dose of living nutrition. Modern diets have stripped these compounds away. We eat roots for starch and throw away the fats. We buy fish oil because we no longer eat the leaves. It is one of the most ironic nutritional tragedies of our time. The turnip does not just grow food, it grows supplements, and they are attached to the plant by a stem. The next time you pull a turnip from the soil, do not look at the leaves as waste. They are the pharmacy growing above the medicine.
Before pills came in plastic bottles, medicine came from the ground. And among the most respected roots in European and Asian folk medicine was the humble turnip. It was not praised because it tasted good. It was praised because it worked. When the chest filled with phlegm, when the joints burned with swelling, when the blood felt thick and tired, healers reached for this root. They called it a cleanser because it moved what was stuck. The power comes from compounds called glucosinolates. These sulfur-based molecules are what give turnips their sharp, slightly spicy smell when cut. In the body, they convert into natural expectorants and anti-inflammatory agents. This means they help break up mucus in the lungs and reduce swelling in tissues. In an age without antibiotics, this was priceless. A wet cough could turn into death. A stiff joint could turn into disability. Turnips were used to stop both. One of the most famous remedies was turnip syrup. The recipe was simple, but its effect was legendary. A large turnip was hollowed out like a bowl. Sugar or honey was packed inside. The root was left overnight. By morning, the sugar had pulled liquid from the turnip through osmosis, creating a thick medicinal syrup. This liquid was taken by the spoonful to treat coughs, bronchitis, and sore throats. It loosened mucus, soothed irritation, and encouraged the lungs to clear themselves. Children and elderly people were given this before winter as a protective tonic. For the joints, turnips were used differently. The root was boiled until soft, mashed into a warm paste, and applied directly to swollen knees, hands, or hips. The heat opened the skin, the sulfur compounds penetrated, inflammation eased, pain softened. It was not magic, it was chemistry working through the skin. Today, we call this topical anti-inflammatory therapy. They called it turnip poultice. Even digestion benefited. Turnips stimulate bile flow, which helps the body break down fats and detoxify the blood. A sluggish liver feels like fatigue and brain fog. Turnips were used to wake it up. In many old herbals, they were described as blood brightening. They made the inside of the body cleaner, lighter, and more fluid. And yet, all of this knowledge vanished when pills arrived. We forgot that a root could do the work of a pharmacy. But your lungs still respond to sulfur. Your joints still calm when inflammation drops. The turnip never stopped working. We simply stopped listening. To understand why this plant disappeared, we have to talk about power. Not political power, agricultural power. For thousands of years, the turnip was the backbone of winter survival across Europe and Asia. It grew in cold soil. It matured quickly. It stored well. Entire populations depended on it when grains failed. It was cheap, reliable, and deeply nutritious. Then the potato arrived. The potato was a calorie bomb. It produced more starch per acre than almost anything else. It was easy to grow in bulk. Governments loved it. Armies loved it. It fed masses cheaply. But what it provided in calories, it lacked in micronutrients. Potatoes filled bellies. Turnips nourished bodies. When the potato took over fields, the turnip was pushed out of kitchens. Something subtle but devastating happened. We replaced medicinal food with survival starch. The turnip became peasant food, then animal feed, then weird. Cultural memory erased it. By the 20th century, even gardeners forgot its value. The greens were composted, the roots were boiled into tasteless mush. Its healing reputation disappeared from textbooks and diets alike. But biology did not forget. Turnips still grow glucosinolates. Their greens still manufacture omega-3s. Their roots still clear mucus and calm inflammation. The only thing that changed was our attention. The potato is easy. The turnip is powerful. One feeds hunger, the other feeds health. And now, after a century of forgetting, the turnip is waiting in the soil, ready to reclaim its place as the root we betrayed. The final secret of the turnip is this:
If you treat it like a potato, you destroy its value. If you treat it like medicine, it becomes one of the most powerful foods you can grow. The old gardeners understood something we forgot. The way you prepare a plant determines whether it heals or merely fills your stomach. The greatest mistake people make with turnips is boiling them. Boiling drives the sulfur compounds into the water and kills the enzymes that make the root medicinal. What you are left with is soft, bland starch. That is why people think they hate turnips. They have never eaten them the right way. The correct method is fermentation. In Central and Eastern Europe, fermented turnips were called Sauerrüben, sour roots. This process transforms the sharp, bitter compounds into gentle acids that your gut loves. At the same time, it creates billions of beneficial bacteria. These bacteria do something extraordinary. They make the nutrients in the turnip more absorbable. Calcium becomes easier to take in. Omega-3s become more stable. Anti-inflammatory compounds become more active. To make it, you don't need equipment. You need a knife, salt, and patience. Grate the turnip. Add 2% salt by weight. Massage it until juice appears. Pack it tightly into a jar so no air remains. Within days, it begins to bubble. Within weeks, it becomes a living food that feeds your immune system and cleans your digestion. This is not cooking. This is controlled transformation. Growing turnips is just as simple. They thrive in cold soil when other crops fail. You can plant them in late summer and harvest through winter. Their roots push deep. Their leaves spread wide. They don't need fertilizers. They don't fear frost. While tomatoes die and peppers rot, turnips quietly build medicine underground. This is why ancient gardeners trusted them. They were not just growing food, they were growing insurance. We didn't just abandon a vegetable, we abandoned a relationship. The turnip was once a doctor in the field, a pharmacy in the soil, a quiet guardian against winter sickness. We traded it for convenience. We traded it for French fries. And in doing so, we forgot that real medicine doesn't come in bottles. It comes in roots, leaves, and fermentation jars. Look at what you've been throwing away. Those green tops, omega-3 factories. That white root, a lung cleanser and joint healer. That boring crop, a living supplement. The next time you walk through your garden or a seed aisle, remember this. The most powerful plants are rarely the fashionable ones. They are the ones that survived when everything else failed. Bring the turnip back. Let it feed your body the way it fed your ancestors. And if you want to keep uncovering the forgotten truths hidden in your soil, subscribe to Garden Lore Vault, because the future of health is buried in the past.